Russia, the largest country in the world, home to vast landscapes, rich history, and diverse cultures. But when we think of Russia, one question often arises: who makes up the majority of its population? Today, we're diving into the biggest ethnicity in Russia and exploring their history, culture, and influence on the country. Stay tuned as we uncover the story of the Russian people. The formation of Russia, a brief history. The history of Russia begins with the establishment of the medieval state of Kievan Rus in the 9th century, which was formed by the union of various Slavic tribes. Over time, the state expanded, influenced by the Byzantine Empire, and became a major power in Eastern Europe. 13th century, the Mongol invasions devastated Kievan Rus, leading to the emergence of new political centers, notably the Grand Duchy of Moscow. Moscow eventually rose to power, and by the 15th century, it had become the nucleus of a unified Russian state. In the 16th century, Ivan the Terrible became the first Tsar of Russia, expanding the empire significantly. The biggest ethnicity in Russia, who are they? The largest ethnic group in Russia is the ethnic Russians, who make up approximately 80% of the country's population. Known as Russkiye in Russian, they are the dominant group in terms of population, culture, and political power. The ethnic Russian identity is closely tied to the Russian language, which is spoken by the majority of the population, and the Russian Orthodox Church, which has played a central role in shaping cultural and religious practices. Over the centuries, the ethnic Russians have been shaped by various historical events, including the Mongol invasions, the rise of the Tsarist Empire, and the Soviet Union. Today, ethnic Russians are spread across Russia's vast territory, from the European part of the country to Siberia, and play a key role in the country's political, social, and economic life. The role of Russian language in the ethnic identity. The Russian language is an essential element of the ethnic Russian identity. As the country's official language, Russian is spoken by the vast majority of the population and serves as the primary means of communication among ethnic Russians. It is also the medium through which most of the country's literature, music, art, and history are passed down. Russian culture is deeply embedded in the language, with many of the nation's greatest literary works, such as those by Tolstoy, Dostoevsky, and Pushkin, contributing to the cultural heritage of the Russian people. The language also serves as a unifying force, connecting the diverse regions and ethnic groups within Russia, even as the country remains home to over 100 different ethnic minorities. Russian has become a symbol of national pride and unity, representing the core of the Russian identity. The diverse ethnic minorities of Russia. While ethnic Russians make up the majority of the population, Russia is home to a wide array of ethnic minorities, each with its own distinct culture, language, and traditions. These minorities include groups like the Tatars, Bashkirs, Chechens, Armenians, and many others, spread throughout Russia's vast territory. Some of the largest ethnic minorities include the Tatars, who are primarily found in the Volga region, and the Bashkirs, who live in the Ural Mountains. The Caucasian peoples, such as the Chechens, Ingush, and Dagestanis, are another significant minority group residing in the Caucasus region. These ethnic minorities have their own languages, religions, and customs that distinguish them from the ethnic Russians, and they continue to play an important role in the country's social and political life. Despite their differences, these groups have contributed to the rich cultural mosaic that defines Russia. Famous athletes from Russia. Russia has produced a wide range of world-class athletes who have excelled in various sports, including ice skating, tennis, soccer, and athletics. One of the most famous Russian athletes is Evgeny Plushenko, an ice skater known for his Olympic achievements and multiple world championship titles. In tennis, Maria Sharapova became a global icon, winning 5 Grand Slam titles during her illustrious career. In soccer, Lev Yashin, widely regarded as one of the greatest goalkeepers in history, remains an enduring symbol of Russian sports excellence. Russia has also produced notable athletes in sports like figure skating, gymnastics, judo, and basketball. These athletes not only represent Russia on the global stage, but also serve as symbols of national pride, inspiring young generations of Russians to pursue sports at the highest levels. Traditional Russian cuisine is deeply rooted in the country's long history and diverse climate, which has shaped the ingredients and cooking methods used throughout the nation. Some of the most famous dishes include borscht, a beetroot-based soup often served with sour cream, pelmeni, dumplings filled with meat, and blini, thin pancakes typically served with sour cream, butter, and caviar. Russian cuisine also includes hearty stews like beef stroganoff, which showcases the Russian preference for rich, flavorful meals. The use of rye, cabbage, potatoes, and fish, especially in the northern regions, is common. These ingredients are staples in traditional Russian dishes, reflecting the country's agricultural practices. Russian cuisine varies by region, with influences from different ethnic groups living in Russia, but it remains grounded in its historical roots and the need to prepare substantial, warming meals suitable for the harsh climate. Russian music, a cultural soundtrack. Music plays a vital role in Russian culture with a rich tradition of both classical and folk music. Classical composers such as Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky, Sergei Rachmaninoff, and Igor Stravinsky have shaped the global music scene with their emotionally powerful and technically complex works. Their music continues to inspire audiences worldwide, from ballet performances to symphonic concerts. On the other hand, Russian folk music is deeply tied to the country's rural roots and often features instruments like the balalaika and damra. In modern times, Russia has produced internationally renowned pop stars such as Ula Pugacheva, who has a massive following both in Russia and among Russian-speaking communities abroad. The country also has a thriving rock scene, with bands like Kino and Zemfira gaining fame. Russian music, whether classical, folk, or contemporary, reflects the country's emotional depth, history, and cultural identity. Famous Russian celebrities, influencers, and icons. Russian celebrities span various fields from entertainment to sports and have left a significant impact on the global stage. In cinema, Russian actors like Oleg Menshikov and Sergei Bezrukov are celebrated for their contributions to film and theater. These actors have not only made their mark in Russia, but have also garnered international attention for their performances. Russia is also home to internationally recognized figures in other sectors such as ballet, with dancers like Anna Pavlova, and literature, with authors like Leo Tolstoy and Fyodor Dostoevsky. In recent years, Russian pop culture has seen the rise of influential figures in fashion, social media, and television. Stars like Ksenia Sobchak and Dmitry Nagiev have become household names. From the rich history of its formation to the vibrant culture of its people, Russia is a nation of complexity and beauty. The ethnic Russian identity, along with the many other ethnicities that call this land home, form the heart of a nation that continues to shape the world in its own unique way. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into Russia, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more insightful videos.